We've all wanted material things, and we've all just thought that these things would happen for us because we dreamed hard enough and we wanted them hard enough. So he goes on to say, they enter intruders whose tutors did a lousy job. Now here's where we get into a really dynamic, interesting portion of Andre 3000's upbringing and lyrical content. I'll just read out the bar. How's he God if he lets Lucifer let loose on us? That noose on us won't loosen up, but loose enough to juice us up. Make us think we do so much and do it big. Like they won't let us in. I can't pretend, but I do admit it feels good when the hood pseudo celebrates. Hence why every time we dine, we eat until our belly ache. Then go grab the finest wine and drink it like we know which grape and which region it came from, as if we can name 'em. Hint, hint, and ate 'em. Welchers. Hell just fell 3,000 more degrees cooler. That segment right there is some of my favorite rapping from him ever, because he has this ongoing questioning of God in the latter portion of his career. His feature verse, which is another verse you can't really rap better than, on Life of the Party, Kanye West, where he writes a letter to Kanye's mom in the afterlife saying, if you see my mom, could you let her know that, I'm kind of wavering in my faith because I don't really get a chance to have access or talk to her anymore. And this questioning has more or less plagued Andre at different points in his career, because it never really seems like he ever wanted fame and attention. He goes on with that, how's he God if he lets Lucifer let loose on us? How could God allow us to be subjected to this onslaught that Lucifer being named embodies? That noose on us won't loosen up, but loose enough to juice us up. Sometimes the final frontier before accomplishing your goal is all of the indulgence that you should forsake, but you just can't. When he mentions that juice us up, Welch's, wine, right? Connection to blood of Christ, et cetera, et cetera. These vices or temptations we can't forsake because of the duress we find ourselves in. These things make us do so much and do it big. It feels good to celebrate even if we know it's not necessarily the full-on win. That's why we gorge ourselves despite these imperfect circumstances, right? The wine isn't necessarily sophisticated, right? It's Welch's grape juice. But in a way, it ties us back to that childlike happiness and those base desires that Andre 3 Stacks was referring to in the first portion of this verse. The flavor is good and the juice. The joy is simple, and that makes us happy. Despite it being from duress and survival, is worthy of celebration, right? These are victories that we can only have due to Lucifer again being let loose on us. When the joys are no longer allowed to be simple, happiness and celebration is compromised.